Do you ever feel like your emotions control you? A single harsh comment can make you angry all day. A small disappointment can drain your motivation. You care too much about what others think, react instinctively, and then regret not keeping yourself in check. But what if I told you that you could master your emotions? Would you believe me? The truth is, no one can control your emotions unless you allow them to. The problem isn't that the world is too chaotic. It's that you haven't learned to control yourself. This video will reveal 10 principles to help you master your emotions, stay grounded, and prevent anyone or anything from manipulating you. Watch until the end, because this lesson could change your life. If this is your first time visiting the channel, hit subscribe and like so you don't miss out on exciting upcoming content. No one can control your emotions unless you let them. Yet most people act as if the outside world dictates their mood. Someone says something rude, they instantly get angry. Something doesn't go their way, they immediately feel defeated. They forget one crucial thing: they can choose how to respond. Think back to a recent situation that made you upset. What actually made you angry? Was it the event itself, or how you interpreted it? If the same thing happened but you didn't care, would it still affect you? The truth is, the event itself is minor. Your perception and reaction are what truly matter. Imagine wearing noise-canceling headphones. The chaos outside still exists, but you don't hear it. You know it's happening, but it doesn't affect you. That's how you deal with negativity, by not letting it infiltrate your mind and dictate your emotions. A strong man isn't someone who never feels anger or frustration. He is someone who knows when emotions should be expressed and when they should be controlled. Some battles are worth fighting, others are best ignored. Your reaction doesn't just reflect a passing feeling, it shapes who you are in the long run. When provoked, pause before reacting. Ask yourself, will this response make the situation better or worse? If you answer honestly, you'll realize most things that upset you aren't worth your energy. Master your reactions instead of letting emotions master you. Because in the end, you can either let the world dictate your emotions, or you can choose to respond wisely. That choice is always yours. Have you ever felt disappointed because someone didn't act the way you expected? You help them, but they don't appreciate it. You treat them sincerely, but they remain distant. You keep your promises, but they break theirs. If you felt this way, it's because you've fallen into a dangerous trap, expecting others to think and act like you. The truth is, no one sees the world the way you do. Everyone has their own set of values, upbringing, and priorities. You might value honesty above all else, but someone else might prioritize convenience. You might believe keeping promises is a given, while others see it as flexible. You set expectations for others, and when they fail to meet them, you suffer. But the fault isn't theirs. It's yours. You can't control other people's actions, but you can control how you respond. Instead of getting angry or disappointed, accept a simple truth. People act according to their nature, not your expectations. This doesn't mean tolerating injustice or letting people take advantage of you. It means understanding that expecting too much from others will only give you a headache. If someone treats you poorly, remember it and adjust how you deal with them. If someone breaks their promises, don't trust them with important responsibilities in the future. But don't waste your time being angry or complaining. Observe, accept, and adapt, but don't expect. Ultimately, when you let go of the irrational expectation that people should act the way you want, you'll feel lighter, calmer, and in control. You'll learn to focus on what you can control, yourself. And when that happens, no one will ever be able to disappoint you again. Have you ever felt the urge to prove to others that you're right? Have you argued to the bitter end just to defend your point, even when the argument had no real benefit? If so, you're not alone. Most people fall into the ego trap, believing that if they don't win an argument, they've somehow lost. But here's the truth. You don't need to win every debate, not because you're weak, but because most arguments aren't worth your time and energy. Ask yourself, will proving I'm right actually improve my life? In most cases, the answer is no. When you get caught in meaningless debates, you're letting emotions override logic. You might feel victorious after defeating someone with your reasoning, but then what? Did they change their mind? Do they respect you more? Or did you just make them resent you? The reality is, most people aren't searching for the truth. They're just defending their own beliefs. Wisdom is knowing when to speak and when to stay silent. Ask yourself, is this argument truly important? Does it affect my life? Or is it just an ego battle? If it adds no real value beyond temporary self-satisfaction, let it go. Nothing is more foolish than wasting time trying to convince someone who doesn't want to be convinced. Prioritize peace over winning debates. When you learn to listen without feeling the need to correct, when you can smile at a wrong opinion without the urge to fix it, that's when you've mastered true strength. The one who speaks the most isn't the winner. It's the one who is wise enough to know when silence is more powerful. Stop wasting another day living in weakness and chaos. Subscribe to Stoic Success now to build an unbreakable mindset, master your emotions, and face life like a warrior. Have you ever felt hurt by criticism? Have you changed your actions out of fear of being judged? If so, you're not alone. Most people are obsessed with how others perceive them. But here's the problem. Other people's opinions do not define your value. Marcus Aurelius once said, "We love ourselves more than anyone else, yet we care more about their opinions than our own." This is a contradiction, but it's true for most people. We crave respect and acceptance, so we let external validation control our emotions. When people praise us, we're happy. When they criticize us, we're miserable. But if you live like this, you've given away control of your life. The truth? People see the world through their own lens. When someone criticizes you, it often says more about them than it does about you. They could be jealous, angry, or simply misunderstanding you. Likewise, when someone praises you, it doesn't mean you're perfect. Good or bad, praise or criticism, all of it is just opinion. And opinions change. So why would you let your emotions be dictated by something so unstable? Learn to stand firm, no matter what's being said about you. When someone criticizes you, ask yourself, does this person's opinion actually matter to me? If they aren't someone you respect or who truly knows you, then their words are irrelevant. No one but you can define your worth. Once you understand this, you will no longer be swayed by praise or criticism. And that is true freedom. If you don't know how to say no, your life will quickly become a chaotic mess controlled by others. You'll get dragged into meaningless conversations, toxic relationships, and responsibilities that aren't yours. And the worst part, you'll be drained, mentally and physically, without receiving anything worthwhile in return. Boundaries aren't selfish. Boundaries are self-respect. If you don't set them, people will continue to cross them, not because they're malicious, but simply because they can. When you're always available, always saying yes to every request, don't be surprised when people start taking your sacrifices for granted. Saying no doesn't mean you don't care. It means you recognize your limits. If you keep trying to please everyone, you'll lose yourself. No one else is responsible for maintaining balance in your life. Only you. Boundaries aren't just about refusing excessive demands. They're also about distancing yourself from negative people, pointless arguments, and situations that drain your energy. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your decisions, nor should you feel guilty for protecting your time and mental space. People will respect your boundaries when you enforce them. You teach others how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. If you value yourself, they will too. And if they don't, remember, you don't owe anyone access to you or their approval. Learning to set boundaries is a crucial skill, because if you don't take control of your life, someone else will. Humans are biased creatures. No one sees the world with complete objectivity. Everyone's perspective is shaped by their experiences, fears, ambitions, and personal values. So why do you let someone else's opinion dictate your emotions? If someone calls you a failure, does that actually make you a failure? If someone says you're not good enough, does that diminish your true abilities? Absolutely not. Their opinion reflects their worldview, not the reality of who you are. Yet many people remain trapped in this mindset. They exhaust themselves trying to please everyone, constantly reshaping themselves to meet others' expectations, only to end up feeling lost and drained. You can't control how others think of you, but you can control how you respond to it. Ask yourself, why do I care about this opinion? Does it truly matter to me? Does this person even know me well enough to judge? Most of the time, the answer is no. Focus on your values instead of chasing external validation. When you stay true to yourself, you attract people who genuinely align with you, not those who only accept you when you play a role. Strong people aren't the ones who are loved by everyone. They're the ones who don't need to be. When you stop letting others' opinions control you, that's when you truly become free. Not every confrontation requires a response. Not everyone who attacks you deserves a reply. Society today makes people believe they must have an opinion on everything, speak up in every situation, and argue to win. But in reality, power isn't in saying the most, it's in mastering self-control. Think about the last time you got caught in a pointless argument. What did you actually accomplish? Did you change the other person's mind? Or did you just exhaust yourself? Most debates are nothing more than wasted energy. When someone insults or provokes you, they want to see you react. They want to drag you down to their level. But if you stay silent, you strip them of their power. You leave them frustrated because they can't control you. Silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. When someone criticizes you, you don't need to prove yourself. When someone misunderstands you, you're not obligated to explain. Truth doesn't need to be shouted to remain true. The more you mature, the more you realize not everyone deserves your words. The weak react emotionally and jump into arguments without thinking. The strong know when to speak and when to stay silent. Not reacting is still a reaction, and sometimes it's the most powerful one. Silence has its own strength. When you refuse to engage in a meaningless debate, you force others to reflect. When you don't react as expected, people question themselves, and that is more powerful than any words you could say. So the next time someone provokes you, ask yourself, is this worth my energy? If not, choose silence. Not every battle needs a winner. Sometimes the wisest person is the one who walks away. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you find this video helpful. It's the best way to support me in creating more valuable content. You can't be both angry and grateful at the same time. These two emotions cannot coexist. When you feel gratitude, anger, jealousy, and frustration lose their grip on you. Yet most people spend far too much time focusing on what they lack, rather than appreciating what they already have. Has your entire day ever been ruined by something trivial? A stranger was rude, a coworker disrespected you, a plan didn't go as expected, and suddenly you waste hours, maybe even the whole day, dwelling on it. But have you ever stopped to think about all the good things in your life that you've ignored? Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring life's problems. It's simply a shift in perspective, from focusing on what's missing to recognizing what's already there. Think about it. If you lost everything you have today, would you appreciate it more? If the answer is yes, then why aren't you appreciating it right now? The next time you feel negative, stop and think of 3 things you're grateful for. A roof over your head, your health, a friend who listens. When you do this consistently, your brain rewires itself. You start seeing life through the lens of abundance rather than scarcity. Most people think they'll be happy when they achieve something. More money, more success, more recognition. But the truth is, happiness doesn't come from what you have. It comes from how you see what you have. If you don't practice gratitude now, you'll never feel fulfilled, even if you have everything. Gratitude is the most powerful tool to shift your emotions instantly. It helps you regain calm, maintain focus, and most importantly, realize that your life isn't as bad as you think. When you make this a habit, you'll notice that nothing can bring you down anymore, because you know you already have so much to be thankful for. No one likes being criticized. When someone points out your flaws, your first instinct might be to get defensive, angry, or offended. But if you let emotions take over, you miss a valuable opportunity to grow. Criticism, whether well-intentioned or malicious, can make you better if you know how to use it. Think about it. If you were always right, if you never made mistakes, how would you ever improve? The most successful people aren't those who never get criticized. They're the ones who turn criticism into motivation to refine themselves. You can't control whether others criticize you, but you can control how you handle it. When receiving criticism, don't react immediately. Pause and ask yourself, who is this person? Do they truly know me? Is their opinion valuable? Not all criticism is worth your attention. If it comes from someone unqualified or with bad intentions, ignore it. But if it's constructive feedback from someone experienced or who genuinely cares about you, pay attention. Detach emotions from facts. Sometimes criticism is delivered harshly, but that doesn't mean it's wrong. If someone tells you that you need to improve a skill, instead of getting angry, see it as an opportunity to grow. Shift your mindset from "they're attacking me" to "they're giving me a chance to improve." True maturity comes when you can listen to hard truths without feeling threatened. Weak people avoid criticism because they fear reality. Strong people embrace it because they know every piece of feedback, good or bad, contains a lesson. Next time someone criticizes you, don't react with anger or defensiveness. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? If you can do that, you won't just get better, you'll become stronger than anyone else. Holding on to resentment is like gripping a burning coal, waiting for the right moment to throw it at someone. Except you're the one who gets burned first. Yet many people cling to their grudges as if it's a form of personal justice. They believe that if they never forgive, if they keep holding on to their anger, they're somehow punishing the person who hurt them. But here's the truth. Hatred doesn't harm the other person. It only eats away at you. Ask yourself, does my resentment change anything? If someone betrayed, insulted, or hurt you, it already happened. No amount of anger will undo it, but you can choose whether or not to let it keep affecting you. Letting go doesn't mean blindly forgiving or excusing what happened. It simply means you no longer allow resentment to control you. When you constantly dwell on past wounds, you're giving power to the person who hurt you. They may have already moved on, but you're still trapped in the negativity. Do you really want to give someone that much control over your emotions? Or do you want to take back your freedom? The only way to do that is to shift your focus from the past to the present. Instead of wasting time replaying old pain, ask yourself, what can I do today to build a better life? Resentment is a burden you don't have to carry. Let go, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. When you understand this, you stop being a prisoner of the past and become the master of your present. Mastering your emotions doesn't mean suppressing them. It means knowing when to react and when to let go. The world is chaotic, people are unpredictable, but you always have control over how you respond. Practicing these 10 principles won't be easy. There will be moments when you lose control, when anger gets the best of you, when you feel hurt. But every time you catch yourself, adjust, and regain control, you move one step closer to emotional freedom. No one can make you suffer unless you allow them to. No one can take your peace unless you give it away. True strength lies in mastering yourself. When you stop letting people and circumstances dictate your emotions, you become unshakable. So from today onward, live with a different mindset. Not to react to the world, but to master it. The choice is yours. Thank you for being here. If you found this video helpful, subscribe, turn on notifications, and like this video. Don't forget to leave a comment so we can spread positivity together.